a lot of people are talking about, AI being, this big deal. And what I think is AI will be in effect.
Yeah.
There's no way it won't be, because just like everybody else, when like tariffs are going to affect everybody at a certain level. And so Cam had said that, companies are going to rush to use AI. But here's the thing. Somebody's got to use the AI.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody's got to use it. And so literally the other day, I had a client reach out to me, and she was trying to do the AI trend where, everybody made themselves into like a toy or whatever.
Yeah.
And so she was trying to do that. And she was
How
like,
much you charge her?
I didn't charge her anything.
That'd be $50.
But let me show you what I did. So I was like, oh, like, cause I didn't do it for her.
Yeah.
She asked me, hey, I know you do AI stuff. That's literally what she said. Hey, I know you do AI stuff. How are people doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, oh, super easy. Like, let me show you how to, like, you go into ChatGPT, you gave it to her. Like, cause I'm not finna do it. We were in Vegas when it was happening.
Okay.
So I wasn't finna do it. So I was like, yeah, here you go. Here's how it's done. And she goes, oh, thank you so much. That's super helpful. By the way, I've got a listing coming up at the end of the month.
Mm.
Are you available? And I was like, oh yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not saying that me helping her with AI like meant that she wouldn't have called me regardless.
You would have guaranteed if you would have been like, I ain't got time for you.
I would have guaranteed she would not have done it. Right.
Yeah,
So this is the point that I'm making. AI, the point of that story is that AI, I believe, can be helpful, and clients are going to want to use it.
Yeah.
But they don't know how to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them still don't have time to learn and figure it out. And so as creators, I can tell you right now, when I use AI, I get way better results than my wife does, because she don't know what to ask for.
Yeah.
She don't know how to say, oh, I want this in 16:9. I want shallow depth of field. She doesn't know different filmmakers to ask for references from, or she doesn't know how to, like, okay, when it doesn't come back the way she wants it to, how to ask for that, or how to get proper colors. Like, when you are a filmmaker, you are a creator through and through. And so you know what makes a good image and you know what makes a bad image. And so you can prompt the AI for that. Eventually, that will become easier for people to do, or the AI will be so good that it won't need deep prompting.
Yeah.
But right now, I feel like as creators, if we know that companies are going to be turning to AI in the wake of, tariffs and budget slashes and whatnot, it is so important, I think, that if we know that's the direction that the companies are going, let's go ahead and jump out in front of them and say, I can actually meet you where you're going. If you're going towards AI and you're turning your back from me and I can see it, you can stand behind and be like, yo, no, don't go that way. Don't go that way. But if we already see the momentum that is them turning that way, heck, I'm getting on my bike, I'm running around the cul-de-sac, and I'm like, yo, let me meet you on the other side.
Yeah.
Where you're going to meet at anyway. And then I can serve you all my other services in the process.
Yeah. Terry's comment is so good. I was just about to say this. As creators, we got to be chameleons. If you want to stay relevant and on top of your game, you got to stay with the industry. Got to go with the industry. AI is here to stay. Learn how to use it and leverage it. I have had 2 clients now that have literally said that they hate being on camera. And you guys can probably relate if you work with clients. They hate being on camera. They know they need content. And when they found out there's an app where they can kind of like scan their face, talk into it for 5 minutes and have it clone its voice, and then literally push out shorts for them, they were like, Drew, how do we do that? I want to do that. I don't want to be on camera anymore.
Yeah.
And so, like Brandon said, clients are still going to need help. And combining it with what Terry said, man, you got to learn how to leverage it to still be needed, because as long as you're still needed, they're going to still pay you.
Yeah.
But the moment, Kay, that you're like, I can't help you with that, what do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're just going to give up? Or do you think they're going to go to the next person and ask the next person, their son, their daughter, their whoever, how do you do this? And when they figure it out, when you weren't helpful, they're going to leave you. So this isn't about doom and gloom, but it is about, very generally speaking, needing to adapt to these things. And if you're not being affected, like I think Thomas said, just based on where he lives, dude, that's awesome. But this wave, it's a tidal wave and it's gonna sweep over the whole earth. We're gonna let an Apple app drop in the App Store. Right? Like back when those AI pictures were taking over the internet a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Don't let it become an app where someone all they got to do is just push a button.
Well, and even then, I'll tell you guys, like, so I have a client that, so this is I'll be very transparent with you all. So I have a client who I do her Instagram reels. That's what I do for her every single month. I shoot her Instagram reels. And this month that we're currently in, she wanted to hire somebody else to actually do like the posting and the captions and all that stuff. And I was doing all of that for her, but I was also using ChatGPT to do it. And I had trained ChatGPT very well because I've been doing real estate for 10 plus years. So I knew how to speak the language and all these other things. So she hires somebody else to do her posting and to do the descriptions. And I'm not even kidding. After 4 days of posting without me, she was like, why I know you're using ChatGPT because I'm not like I'm also dyslexic. So if it's spelled right, she knows I'm using ChatGPT. No, she was like, why does your ChatGPT give different responses than what her new girl does? And I told her, I was like, oh, I've trained my GPT. It's a custom GPT. And she was like, how do I get that? And I was like, oh, it's just mine. Now, I can tell you, people, even in just like when it comes to editing video, CapCut came out, which made video editing free, right? Free. People still hire editors because either one, they don't have the time, or two, just because you have the tool does not mean you have the skill. And even if you can get the skill, getting the skill takes time. And again, people don't got the time. So right now, as creators, if we can start developing the skill, we can also sprinkle a little bit of us in with the AI stuff that we are sending back to our clients. That's going to guarantee that the client won't be able to get what you got.
Yeah.
I mean, even down to the idea of like, every time I ask ChatGPT to make me an image, it's almost 90-ish% of the time, if I'm using that image publicly, like what we use for the thumbnail today, I have to still take that into Photoshop and do my own thing on it.
Yeah.
So even if you are using AI tools, but you also use your skill set as a creator, clients ain't gonna be able to do that. So,
bro, perfect example at the church. Somebody asked me, hey, let's make a t-shirt graphic for VBS. And they were just like, I was like, okay, so what do you want the shirt to look like? And they were like, I don't know. I wanted to kind of give me something cool. And I'm like, well, we can't use that prompt. Like a cool VBS t-shirt. Cool. And they were like, well, just type it in. Let's see what it says. Tell me why ChatGPT put on cool VBS shirt. So, Nico, exactly what you're saying. The prompts make a world of difference. Like, you have to have a vision. You have to have creativity. You have to have a source image. You have to know, kind of like when Brandon was talking to his wife about certain filmmaking or photography things, to get to what you're looking for. And yeah, so we're going to be needed, but that's not necessarily just because we're needed. We have to show our value to the client.
Yeah.
Like, because if we don't show our value to the client, you personally might not be needed.
Yeah. And actually, I'll give you guys 3 ways. So these are like legit 3 ways that I have personally used AI to improve my value to perception to clients.
Mm-hmm.
So like one way that I've done it, obviously you guys know I use ChatGPT a lot. It used to take me 24 to 48 hours to write up a full quote for a client that had creative, production breakdown, invoices, a proposed schedule, all these things, right? I have a ChatGPT or a custom GPT for just quotes now. So literally, I hop on a call with a client. I get their whole information. I use another AI tool called Otter to be able to give me all of the notes from that call. I feed those notes into this custom GPT. I tell it how much I want to charge. I tell them, the breakdown for pre-production, production, and post. And then it spits me out a quote. I can respond to a quote after a phone call or after a Zoom call with a client within an hour or two. that type of perception of value for a client feels amazing, because now it's like, whoa, we just got off the call with you and now we already have a quote and we can make a decision while the emotions are fresh, versus letting them sit around for 24, 48 hours to be like, man, should we really be paying this much? Blah, 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 blah. Like that's one way that I've already used it. The second way is obviously with emails. Like, how many, at least for me, because I don't know if it's like this for y'all, but I'm so dyslexic that reading emails for me is like a chore. Like, it's like doing homework. But now that I can actually use ChatGPT to help me respond to these emails, and then I have this like email deal that just like basically, if it's a really long email, just summarizes it for me and gives me the bullet points. I feel like I can get through my emails much faster, and I can respond to emails much faster, which means now, instead of letting some jobs just die in the email because I'm just too lazy or just don't have the mental capacity to actually go through all my emails, I can 100% go through all of my emails and respond to each.
Yeah.
And then that way now, instead of me like responding to like maybe 3 and 1 of the 3 hitting, I can respond to 10. And now I got 3 of the 10 hitting. And then once I have the 3, like the way I always respond to my clients is, let's see if this will be a good fit. So just because I respond doesn't mean I'm taking your project.
Yeah.
Now I can look at those 3 and be like, all right, which project do I really want to take, and move forward there. So that's one area. And then, that's the second one. And then the third way that I've been using AI is realistically like to help me with all of my content creation stuff. As you guys know, like writing descriptions for Instagram or for YouTube and all these other areas, like when you have those additional endeavors that you want to do, which a lot of us as creators, we do shoot, for clients, but then we also have our own thing that we want to build, whether it's our own YouTube channel or our own Instagram or TikTok or whatever. Now you can actually use AI to help you push those endeavors further, because I know we're also limited on time. And so if you are limited on time and you have one bucket where all of your income is coming from, I would strongly consider at least trying some AI tools to see if you can't drum up, even if it's like an extra $500 a month.
Yeah.
Every little bit counts, especially, when the world seems so shaky. Hey, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more content like this, because let's face it, sooner or later, I might just be AI, and you'll never know, or maybe you will.